Hello, everybody. How you guys doing tonight? Michael Gracia here. We have got a lot of people already in. Sorry, I'm just still setting up my lights. I guess that's in my eyes, so that's not good. Um, got a lot of people in the audience. I'm thrilled to see that. Thank you all for showing up. We'll get to everybody in a minute. I see a lot of hellos. I see a lot of different stuff going on. But before we do that, got to get through the usual stuff. I don't know. Can you guys hear me well? And maybe I should bring my mic a little closer. I'm trying not to have the fans blow into them. I don't know if you're hearing some fans on my end. Let me know. Um, but here's the normal stuff. So first of all, thank you all for showing up for what I have a really fun show planned tonight. Always great when my guests come on here. But let's not forget that you can order the complete 2023 collection of the Whimsical Wiz on Amazon. I got to start putting the links up. But yes, you can get this is all my 2023, 2024 I'm currently working on. I'm building more strips that weren't in the actual comic. I got the two Zorro books that I worked on here. I did two stories in Zorro's Exploits, one in Swordplay and Romance, both by Bold Venture Press. You can go to boldventurepress.com or you can go get them on Amazon. And then, not lastly, but if you guys read Portuguese, this is a great book right here that I got to do a cover illustration to one of the stories. I was going to try to find if the fans are. Oh, here it is. Nice little. So I'm thrilled to be published internationally there. Interesting that my camera feed is mirrored. Yeah, I keep forgetting to unswitch that. And lastly, I just got the latest edition yesterday in the mail of. Sorry, give me 1 second. A Kid in a Comic. Now, this is the newspaper, all comic strips. You can go to kidinacomic.com to subscribe and get comics. The Wiz appears in here, along with many others. I am not going to flip through it because I always tear a copy when I start flipping through it like this on the air. So, why not? Let's do it, right? We got some really cool stuff in here. One of the things I always do is go to check out my Wiz. Let me just take out the page that's in here. So, right over there. And that is the Wiz strip. We got a lot of great stuff in here. Charmy's Army, sour grapes, and tons of other stuff. Really cool strips. So, yeah, all right. We're gonna go to all the hellos, and but before we get to that, let's bring on our guests tonight. That's my page here. Everyone knows these two guys. The first one we're bringing on is, and by the way, their cameras aren't on today, so all you'll see is me. But we got Michael Cook and Elias Levine, which I did not mess up the name.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. It's your old pal, Michael Cook.
Wow, you sounds like that every stream.
Who are you people? What are you doing in my basement? Hello, Michael.
Hello.
What up, Elias? And
Hello.
hello everybody.
Yes,
So
let's
good to see
start
all of you.
checking some stuff out here. Hello, the Chicken Man's channel from the
What
Chicken
up,
Man's.
Cat Fox? Welcome.
Julia Marie, hello.
Hi, Julia.
Kimberly says, hi, guys.
Hiya, Kimmy.
What's up, Kimberly?
We got, how do you say it?
Alam Aguilar.
Hallam. Okay.
We got all of the regulars from the Cluckin crew.
Oh, the
over there.
peeps. Yeah, Kimberly again.
Yeah.
Say hi,
Saberwing
Dusty.
I saw in there.
Yep.
Hello,
We have
Saberwing.
Saberwing, Dali Baez, Sillyville Official. Want to borrow my inhaler? Yeah, that'd be very nice. Thank you.
Okay, let's see.
Dylan Royer, how's it going?
Dylan,
Oh, good
hello.
old Dylan.
Everyone's
Yes.
saying hello. Hi, Dylan. What's this? Clearly, okay. Hello, guys. Dylan.
Can we get some wizard hats in the chat for the Wiz comics from Michael here?
I,
Yeah.
I would,
Pretty cool.
I don't know. Can they do that?
Let's see what happens.
Is there a wizard hat emoji? There's got to be a witch
I'm-
emoji at least.
Yeah.
Hey, we got. What does this one say? Hey, I'm new to Michael Gracia's channel, but I'm here because I know Michael Cook. Well, thank you for coming on. I hope you stay around even when Michael Cook isn't on here. Then they keep talking about here how my camera is mirrored, and it looks correct to me because I know on my left, which is the hand I'm moving right now, is all of this. So it looks correct to me, but
well, no, it is mirrored. So
yeah, I guess
it's okay though.
I don't know. Can I unmirror this here? Let's see.
You should be able to, I think, in the camera settings.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a setting.
there
look,
are
you
wizard emojis.
Yeah!
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. You're the best.
Wow.
Kimberly had to be different and put a freaking unicorn. That's okay, though. We still love her. It's all good.
I still got to figure out why my camera is the way it is, but whatever. Anyway, let's forget that and get to you guys.
Yes,
because you know what, you're the important people tonight. You're the stars of the show.
Stop it. Keep going, but stop.
So first off, thank you guys for coming on. And how are you both doing tonight?
I'm tired.
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, good.
I'm glad to hear
Good
that.
for you. Good for you.
Oh, isn't that
Well, isn't that just swell? No, I'm doing good. I just got back from Anaheim, California, this past week.
Yes, we need to discuss that. I'm
okay.
excited. No, listen, I'm excited for it. That you know what I've said this to you before. I have never been to Disneyland. I have been to Disney World maybe like 15 times, but Disneyland I've never had the ability to go to yet. My wife and I were trying to plan a trip for this year because it is the 70th anniversary. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to get out there. So,
oh no,
I got to I got to live, vicariously through you here and telling me all the stuff, and I want to hear the one thing I really want to hear your opinion on is and we can get to that later. Is the Walt animatronic, because I saw the images.
Oh my gosh!
And that when I saw the images, that killed me. I'm like,
all right.
But do you want to do it now and
get
get out of the way, or do you just want to?
Yeah, no, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. And
we'll talk about the Walt thing, and then we'll do our introductions. That's
Go ahead and do that. Yeah. I just got to hear. It's been killing me.
Okay, all right. I will say this. I mean, I went in with really low expectations. I unfortunately saw, the preview video that Disney themselves put out with the Walt animatronic, and of course everybody bashed it before giving it a chance and before seeing it, right? I was very fortunate on July 17th to be there, to be one of the first people to go and see the animatronic. I was not there when it broke, so I was very thankful that Walt was working fine throughout the entire show. So I did see that, and I'm not gonna lie. If that had happened to me, I would have been very disappointed.
You would have told me, and I would have laughed really.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I called Elias almost every night when I was there. I had dinner at the Plaza Inn. I had the same dinner. I had mostaccioli with meat sauce and a salad and a drink. And I just sat down and I checked in with him. And I got to tell you, the first day that I called him was his birthday, July 16th. And
happy
I think.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, happy belated. Everybody, give some birthday cakes for Elias in the chat, please. Anyway, The first day that I told him what had happened, he literally died in his chair laughing. It was hysterical. But anyway, I will say this, right?
Mhm.
It is a very different experience seeing it through the lens of a camera and actually being in the theater, seeing the thing in person, seeing it the way that it's supposed to be seen, right?
Yeah.
Now, I will admit, when the curtain went up, it was a very kind of spooky feeling. Like it looked and moved like a person. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of creepy. And it's like it looks like Walt. And what ended up happening was I was ready to give this thing like a negative review, but behind me there was a little girl who said, "Mommy, is that really Walt Disney?" And I was like, I have to love this thing. I can't help it. It moved very well. The show was very well done. The figure looked, it doesn't look exactly like Walt,
Not
I mean,
really.
that's an understatement, but but for what they did and the fact that they have a Walt Disney character in Disneyland, the only park that he saw, I have to give them the props. I have to give them the credit. They did a wonderful job. And I can hate on it like everybody else, but I'm going to be different. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It got me off my feet for 25 minutes. So
That's always good.
Yeah,
I
aside
enjoyed
from
it,
the
so.
visuals, it was great.
Yeah. Walt he didn't look that bad. And I sat in an area where it was far enough away where looking at it, it actually looked like Walt Disney. I'm not
Far
like
enough away, and you squint a little bit.
I was going to say I shouldn't wear my glasses when I go. Wow. I just want to say, when I saw the image, I was like, they have made so many like accurate looking animatronic figures, and the one person that they should have got right
was Walt Disney.
Started everything.
Look, you're not
It
wrong.
was like they took his head and just put it into a vice and just
Yeah. He does look a little bloated, a little.
I mean, it could be the actual frozen head, No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's his actual unfrozen brain in the animatronic.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Everyone just like all of the fans who know me just pooped themselves right now, but that joke. But no, I honestly feel they did a really great job. I would like to go back and see it again.
Without the little girl behind you to make you feel.
No children. What are you doing? Why are you making me like something I'm supposed to hate? How dare you? No, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
All right.
So it was good. Yeah. Disneyland itself, I will say this. People ask me all the time, what is the major difference between Disneyland and Walt Disney World? And I will tell you, hands down, being there on July 17th, the actual opening day of Disneyland, the excitement, the community, the camaraderie, everyone, like the energy was so electric. Like everyone was so excited to be there. Not only were there amazing people like vloggers, like I got to meet folks like Random Land, Justin Scard. I got to see Adam the Woo. I got to see Magic Journeys. I got to see Max Galicki, aka Mr. Cheesy Pop. I got to see legendary Imagineer Bob Gurr, who built the monorail, like the first monorail for Walt in 1959. And there's a very cute story that he tells about when the monorail opened. He was conducting the train, and it was then Vice President Richard Nixon and his family who were there to cut the ribbon into Tomorrowland. They're opening 3 attractions in the same day: the Matterhorn bobsleds, the submarine voyage, and the monorail. And what was really cool about the monorail was that it was the very first daily operating monorail in the Western Hemisphere. So this was a big, big deal. Yeah. Like people forget that, right? Mm-hmm. So Walt, of course, brings the Nixon family onto, and they have their security, detail. All the Secret Service people are on the platform protecting the president. So the little girls go in, the Nixon family goes in, Walt goes in, Bob's sitting at the at the helm. And the little girl's, oh, can we go on a ride? And Walt says, Bobby, give him a ride. And without thinking, he closes the door as an off the track on the way it goes, leaving all of the Secret Service people on the platform with the president completely unguarded. So at this point, he has essentially kidnapped the vice president of the United States. So they go around and, they do the trek. And what you don't understand is that every day prior to this opening day, the monorail essentially caught fire and like exploded. Like they could not get this thing to work. So finally the day that it opened, it was going around really well. And so then of course they're coming up to the track and the girls go again. And so Walt goes, Bobby, let's go again. They just, at this point, the Secret Service people are chasing the train, trying to hop on to get it. And they can't. So they're just hanging onto the rail. It was a cacophony. And then finally the damn thing stops. They get off and the Secret Service people all get on the train. And Walt goes to Bob and it says, and this is the guard protecting the White House. And it was like one of the funniest things. So after that whole fiasco, there was actually a German engineer who was responsible for the project. It was the Disneyland Allweg monorail, right? Walt went to Germany and worked with the Allweg company along with Bob Gurr to make this monorail. And this German guy comes up to Bob and says, Mr. Bob, in Germany, we spent 7 million marks in 7 years to build a monorail, and we do not allow the public on the train. You Disney idiots get it operating for one night, and you put your vice president on it. Like, he was really mad. But anyway, it went off without a hitch. The only thing that unfortunately didn't work was Walt's giant scissors to cut the ribbon. But other than that, it worked really well. It was a very fun story. And so being able to see Bob, even for like the minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes that I got to spend with him was just an absolute treasure. I mean, the man is Disney legend royalty, right?
No, I get
I get you. But yeah,
I was going to say, no, I felt that. I kind of felt the same way. Oh God, who did I meet? Why am I blanking on his name now?
Eric Goldberg.
Yes. Why do I'm so bad? My brain with names have been terrible. But yeah, when I met Eric Goldberg, I kind of, I kind of.
It's hot.
Yeah. No, actually, it is. I don't have AC in this room.
Yeah. It's
that's
very
why there's
hot.
always fans, and I always.
Yeah. Well, don't die. We don't want you to die. Okay.
No, that's kind of the one thing I'm always trying to avoid.
Yeah. The Dada Baez.
What I hit you.
She said, "Oh,
no, go ahead."
Adali says, "No matter on what channel, no one can escape from Mike's dying laughter." Too true. Too true.
All right, so you know what? We're already in almost 20 minutes. Oh, by the way, I just want to, before we get to that, I just want to say hi to David. He's the Sillyville in there.
Hi, Dave.
When you mentioned, I don't know if you saw the comment I shared when you were telling the story about the monorail, but he said, I always thought, the Shelbyville thing. I am such a Simpsons fan that every time I hear the word monorail, the song, like before the song comes on in the Simpsons, when they're all monorail, that's all that goes through my head. And and that's what I was thinking about the whole time you were telling the story. But anyway, we're good, like, almost 20 minutes in. We need a little introduction of who you guys are for those who have never seen you. So,
that's true.
Let's go with Michael, since you kind of started it all. Mike, you tell us a bit about you, and then Elias, you can go.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm kidding. Hiya, folks. I'm Michael Cook. I'm the series creator and the voice of Chucky in the animated series Chucky Chicken cartoons. I'm also the co-founder of Valley Studios Media, LLC, that produces the Chucky Chicken series.
All right. Elias.
Hi, I'm Elias. I'm second in command, effectively, on Chucky Chicken. I primarily direct and animate, though I also help write the scripts and various other things. A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for me. I don't have too many credentials. I went to school for classical animation at VFS, so my studies were on the old school ink and paper, flipping on light tables type of animation. That's kind of where
The
I
old
started.
school. Yeah.
Yes, where is that? I've heard of it.
Vancouver.
Okay, that's what I.
Yeah. I'm over in the Vancouver area.
Okay.
He's a Canadian. Shh.
We won't tell anyone.
Pretty
I got
cool,
my
eh?
elbows up, all right? I got my elbows up.
He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
Yeah, no.
But anyway.
So, no, I think that's great. And Mike, you studied more traditional, right? Animation.
I did. I went to the Illinois Institute of Art in Schaumburg, and I got my bachelor's in media arts and animation. And I learned on Adobe, and I also learned on paper, pencil animation, going through the Animator Survival Kit. I actually had a teacher who had the entire masterclass DVD. So I got to,
Yeah.
it was, I essentially got to learn from Richard Williams himself, which was kind of cool.
That's
Yeah, it's just neat. So yeah, but they don't need to know. They know this, Michael. They come to my show
I
every week.
understand, but
There might be people from his show on here, you know? They don't know.
That's true. Oh, that's
do-
true. Yeah.
you do realize though that I have a lot of followers that may not know who you are, even though you've been on the show. What, this is your fourth
That's
time?
their problem.
I get that, but
Maybe if they watch every episode of the stream again.
Yeah. I mean, why aren't they helping you? They should be watching your show over and over again, Michael. Come on. You need the views.
Whoa. Wow.
Most of my fans are artists who will watch this in replay in their studio while they're working.
Oh.
I just insulted you.
It's
so sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. This show's not over yet.
Oh, it's time for payback. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. No, but
When
seriously,
we have you on our show, then you'll get your revenge.
I've been on your show before.
He's been on our show.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah. Thanks
last
for
year.
I'm glad it was memorable.
Oh, sorry, man. It's been a rough year. I won't get into it. I got some stuff going on.
Maybe you need to go back and watch an episode or two. Well, just one. I've only been on one.
Yeah.
But
I'm crying.
Oh yeah, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Oh my
Listen,
god.
you're bad with names, but I'm bad with like all of it.
Everything
you know?
else.
no.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'll be honest.
I'm
I've
gonna
had a
roll
bad
tonight.
memory for the last. Well, I'm 49, so maybe what 48 years, I guess.
No.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time of bad memory. No, like seriously, if you ask me about an artist,
Mhm.
I need to see their work. They're
Me
like,
too.
they'll be like, do you know who this
100%.
artist is? And I'll be
Yeah.
like, what did they do? Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
you told that I'm familiar with. You know, I mean, there's so.
Oh, do you
many
know?
things.
Have you heard the song by this guy? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
Why don't you
listen,
hum a few bars? Let me
Oh
know.
my God.
You know?
Yeah.
let me tell you, I am so bad with music. I know nothing. Like the few bands that I enjoy is
Yeah.
like all I know.
Yeah.
And like my wife she can hear a note and she'd be like, change it, I don't like the song on the radio, you know, like she knows like everything about music, and like it's so weird just talking to her or her talking to me, I guess, because
Right.
but it's so funny too, because I'll watch I'll come into the middle of like a Bugs Bunny cartoon, and I'll tell you who like the director was just by how Bugs is being used or something.
Yeah,
You know,
but
like,
you're a nerd like us, so of
yeah,
course you're gonna know
exactly.
that, you know?
So,
So that's like an animator
yeah,
thing.
but
And by the way, you were on Cluckin' Crew 52 back on August 1st of 2024. So nearly a year ago,
nearly
you
a
were
year
with us.
ago,
So we got to get you back on. So
I was gonna say
Nearly-
it's time for a new
Yeah.
appearance.
yes, time to get you back on. We'll get
yeah,
you there. We're approaching our 100th episode here pretty soon
nice,
on the
Yeah.
podcast.
nice,
Couple
nice.
weeks, couple months, we'll be at 100, which is insane.
Wow.
Damn, we're old.
I don't know what I have on here. No, I gotta look. I have. I know
got
I
you.
have over like 200 or 300 Get in Tune videos.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dang, we got to catch up.
But
Yeah,
I started
that's
doing
wild.
this in what 20? I did this 2020. I started this during the pandemic.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we
Yeah.
started ours. Yeah, we started ours in 23.
Yeah, I think
June
so.
9th. Yeah, June 9th of 23. So we just hit 2 years. So we've had fun. We've had some
Yeah,
really cool
no, listen,
guests.
you guys are great. It was a great time being on your show. You guys, you know, you notice you guys just all you get along so well. You just interact very well too. You know.
We tolerate each other.
Yeah. we're like Penn and Teller. After the stream is done, it's no contact. We don't even. But no, I mean,
which one of you doesn't talk? And I was going to say it's definitely not Mike.
You're so right. See, that's the goal of every stream, is to get Mike to laugh really hard, because it's so much fun, because it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh.
I'm really upset you don't have a camera right now. I'd love to see your face.
Do you know how many people ask me that all the time? I get messages from people, when are you going to get a camera for your podcast? Oh my God. Well, that's what the chicken is for.
Yeah, eventually we are gonna upgrade our little like VTuber guys eventually.
Yeah.
But I need to learn how to do that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Saberwing, don't die, Mike. We need you. Okay, I'm here.
We got someone for your 108th episode if you want them to come on.
All right, we'll make it happen.
Heck
Just
yeah.
get us the deets. We'll have you on,
Yeah,
David,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah. He's got a comic called Sillyville. It's a humor comic. It's a really fun book.
Well, with a name like Sillyville, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was maybe a drama. You know.
See, that in itself would be pretty funny.
Right.
I'm sure
Silly has depression.
Oh, we're gonna get to anything tonight, man.
Yeah. What's a constructive question that you have for us?
Well, I'm sorry. I was going to ask you. Well, first I wanted to congratulate you, because you guys finally put out your pilot that I've been hearing about for so long.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yeah.
I think
We did
it was
that, yeah.
fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've watched it on YouTube at least 3 or 4 times, like the day it came out, and I've watched it like 2 other times, since then.
Thank you.
You're
That's
very
really
welcome.
sweet of you. I really appreciate that.
I really enjoyed it. You know how to capture that classic animation feel, which is one of the things I love about your work, and what you guys do. I have it set up so we can watch it, and I'm going to wait a little longer.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about the pilot a little bit before that, if you'd like.
That's what I'd like you guys to do, and tell us how it came to be.
Oh my goodness.
Well, listen, I know I talked to Mike. I will say, just so you know, Elias, I spoke to Mike, and he showed me the different scripts at one point.
Oh my gosh!
And
right.
A couple of different animatics. There was.
He knows how bad it was.
Yeah. And I will say there were a couple of jokes I gave him, and like one made it into one of the scripts.
Yeah.
And then I will say I was looking forward in this one here, and it didn't make it.
Oh no! Okay,
it's
well,
okay. No, it's okay. It's
all right.
Well, the thing is that like the biggest thing that happened through this like 5-year production Because effectively the pilot as it is now only really started like manifesting in like 2021-ish after
2022. 22.
Yeah, 22. And before that point, like everything was completely different. And then we were like, okay, solidifying it, we'll put it in the film studio. And we originally wanted it to be like a 20-something minute pilot. And then it was in the past like year and a half, I'd say, we decided, okay, if we keep it as a 20-minute long pilot, we are just never going to release anything. So we chopped it up into season 1.
Well, there you go, folks. You don't have to watch. You don't have to listen to me no more. He pretty much said it.
Yeah, and I said it in like what, 2 minutes?
They like to hear me talk. That's why they're here. So,
I can go. I can if you want. I don't know. Doors right there.
you need to fact check. So,
yeah, that's
true. Yeah, but so anyway, yes, Elias is 100% right. We did start it in about 21 after our Kickstarter. Before the Kickstarter, I will say this: we've always had the characters. They've been around since 2009. Right, first cartoon came out July 28th on YouTube with Wake Up Call, the first black and white Chucky cartoon. Didn't really do anything for like 10 years, and then finally in 2019, we did. I call them the Feathered Five. It was Chicken Trap, Abracluckdabra, Fire Hosed, Snow Plowed, Burger Battle, all within 1 year. We also did Foul Play. We did a remake of Wake Up Call, put them all out on a new YouTube channel because I lost access to the old one. So, which is kind of, but it's still there. But I'm not getting anything for it, but it's okay. It's great for fact checking for the anniversary. But anyway, did a Kickstarter in 2021 after Grim Grinning Chiplets, and brought on a whole new team of people. One of them being our mutual friend Rebecca Rodriguez, who came and helped, flesh out the town of Featherton, USA, where they all lived. And we were trying really hard to figure out a story for these guys. We were trying to make it more retro, but also modern. And, there really wasn't a hook, right?
Yeah. And that's about the time that I joined the team. And at the time, I was just there to do some storyboarding. I didn't really have any, like, other duties. And
he had it
when I joined, the vibe of the show was kind of like a weird, like Looney Tunes meets Seinfeld kind of vibe. They all lived in like an apartment building, and Tommy Turkey was like the landlord.
Yeah,
and so
it didn't work.
It did not work, but like I don't hate the idea of a weird Seinfeld-esque cartoon. Truly.
Well, we wrote an episode we called the Corny Casanova, and it was originally called When Chuck Met Chels. And the idea was that it was supposed to introduce the world to the characters. Chucky meeting Chelsea for the first time, everybody living in the apartment coops. We are introduced to Freddie Fox and all the guys, and the story just wasn't working. Like it didn't really gel well with a lot of people. 2021, we attempted to do the Kickstarter. It failed. But before we did the Kickstarter, we basically cast all the voices, which was amazing. We brought on Alex Hanley as Louie Loon and Ted Hazard as Freddie Fox and Anna DiCioso as Anna Lamb. And, all of the people that we brought, some call me Johnny as Luca Bacon, who then changed to Abe Hogsley, Uncle Al coming in as Gorilla Gus. Like, we found the people, which is great. And we had a small little group of artists coming in and trying to make this happen, right? But the Kickstarter failed for a number of reasons. The ones that I'll take credit for is we just weren't ready. We didn't have enough original material, really. We didn't have a good story. We didn't have a hook. And actually, one of our former cast members has worked very closely with people at Cartoon Network, and he was very kind enough to get me a meeting with a Cartoon Network producer on Sonic Boom. Sat down with him, showed him the work, and he kind of put it very bluntly, and he's like, "You don't have a hook. characters are cute, but you don't really have anything else. So I don't see this thing going anywhere. And around that time, Tom Ruegger, legendary animation producer, creator of shows like Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, Pinky and the Brain, Freakazoid, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Look him up. He's if you grew up in the 90s, he's your childhood. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
I interviewed him when I was doing In Credit Chat with my friend.
Did we know him then? Did he speak highly of us, or?
No, you guys. I don't think him. This was 2021, probably. And,
yeah, that we would have met him. We met him in 2020.
And then he didn't say anything. We actually talked a lot about a lot of the old projects he worked on, and I might have told you this. I don't know, but he worked on a show I loved growing up called Black Star. And he was one of the writers of it, and I believe DreamWorks now owns the rights to it. And I've had this idea for 20, 30 years on how to revamp Black Star, because it was like a late 70s, early 80s show. It was the precursor to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And he told me, he was like, listen, let's talk and see what happens, because he loved the show, he said, too. And I reached out, like he was like, contact me in a few months after I finish up this project. I wrote him. I didn't hear back, and then I lost his email. So stuff happened with my email that I lost a lot of sent emails, so I couldn't even go back and find it. Maybe one day I'll reach out to him again when I have a slowed down life now. I'm just going to say this, though. If I don't do that, and me and him don't get together to try to bring Black Star to life, it's already being redeveloped as an indie comic with some different names and some different stuff.
Oh, cool.
So,
nice.
It will be one of my projects.
That's very exciting. You've heard it here first, folks. So anyway, after the meeting with the Cartoon Network guy, Tom and I had a conversation about the show, and he just kind of asked me straight up. He says, "Mike, what do you want to do? Like, what's the goal with Chucky? Like, what gets you up in the morning?" And I'm like, "Well, I love classic cartoons, right? I love the 1930s, but I specifically love 1930s Hollywood. I love the golden age of Hollywood. I love that whole era of filmmaking, the old studio system. I think there's a lot of potential storytelling that can be very relevant today, And he was very interesting, and he said, "Have you ever heard of a show called McHale's Navy?" And I had to say no, I had never heard of it. It started Ernest Borgnine. It was a World War II centric show. Very, very interesting. I highly recommend going check it out. But then he said, "Have you ever heard of Hogan's Heroes?" I'm like, "Oh, I love Hogan's Heroes." Again, another World War II based show, filmed in the 60s. Robert Crane is Colonel Hogan. Amazing cast, amazing show. Very screwball comedy. Like back in the days where sitcoms were more like living cartoons. You know what I mean? So he says, if you take the concept of Hogan's Heroes, where you have all these guys who are trying to get on, trying to make something work together against like the big baddies. And instead of it being in a prisoner of war camp, you put it in a 1930s studio, you'll have a hit, right? So I'm like, oh, you know what? Then that's what we'll do. So I went to Elias and a few other folks, and we came together and we're like, here's what we're going to do. We finally found our hook. Here's how we're going to make the show happen. We wrote the first version of it. Elias and I pulled several all-nighters to get the storyboards done.
Yeah, both of us definitely drew those storyboards, and it wasn't me. But yeah, no, I remember that because we had our initial storyboard done, and then I revised one of the scenes, and I was on a call with Mike, and Mike kind of looks over at me from the veil of the internet and says, we're going to have to do this with all of them now, right? And I was just like, yeah.
I mean, because here's the thing, right? Like, animators need. I don't know what it is, but I'm just gonna. I don't mean to offend anybody. Animators don't understand anymore that when you look at a storyboard, it is a rough concept, right? Now, granted, the next step between storyboard and going into animation is layout. And we have always seemed to skip the layout part of the process.
Yeah. We're gonna fix that come the next cartoon. That's gonna be the first thing we do.
Yes, 100%. So, in their defense, we skipped a step because we were trying to get it done faster. I don't recommend that. Don't try and rush a project to get it done. Like, give it the time it needs. Let it cook. Let it do its thing. I love that.
Let it Michael cook even.
Let it Michael cook. Yes, absolutely. Not just cook. Put it in the microwave. Mic cook. I reached and I went too far. I went too far. Forgot it. Never mind. Just let it cook. Let it cook.
It's over.
Right. So anyway, we did that first bit, and then we put it. We did what's known as a Leica reel or an animatic, where we take the voice actors, we have them record the script, we take the storyboards, and we put them together to kind of get a sense of the timing of the cartoon. And then, if we can, we'll put preliminary sound effects or music if we have it, just to kind of get an idea and a feel for the show, right?
Yeah.
And what it does for us, it gives us a good idea of what we're doing and how it's feeling and so on and so forth. But what I like to do is I like to show it to people. And my thing is, like, if they like it in the animatic stage, they're going to love it when it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we did the animatic, we did the first one, and nobody liked it. It was rough.
You're talking about the 20-minute long one, right? Or
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, this was 11 minutes. The first.
Oh
one.
Yeah, the very first
one.
iteration.
Yeah, the first one was 11 minutes. Like we had people ask, like, I don't get it. Why is this happening? Like, what's going on? Like, why is he a janitor? Like, what happened? And then we brought on our dear friend Tino Cockatera, who was supposed to be here tonight, but we don't know what happened.
Tino's going through some stuff right now, okay? Leave him alone.
I know. He messaged me.
Smack you. You leave him alone.
Go, if you're on Blue Sky, go and look up Tino on their Tuned Tunes. He actually just released some Adopt Rejects. He does this really cool thing called Adoptables, where he designs, colors, and creates custom cartoon characters for people to buy. And he just put out his latest edition of basically the ones that were left over. They're down in price. They're $24 each. So go check it out. I will actually leave a link. I'll send it to you, Michael. And if you want to,
I'll
give
drop
it to him
in the chat.
That would be wonderful. Here, there you go. So Tino came on, and Elias and Tino and we came together, and we call Tino our official lore keeper, because he went and he just was like, well, in the 1930s, this was going on, and this was the man created a freaking timeline.
Yeah,
of everything that happened.
Full timeline of events for Chucky Chicken about what was going on at the time, popular culture that might affect what happens in the show, sort of thing.
Right. And what was so funny about it was, as I'm looking through this timeline in 1932, which is when the show begins, in Australia, where Louis Loon is from, there was the Great Emu War. I don't know if you've heard of this. This is a real thing. In Australia, the government, I forget what town it was. I think it was Sydney. They were dealing with farmers who were coming back from World War I, and they were going out to the outback, and they were basically tending farms. And thousands upon thousands of emus came and started eating and destroying the crops. So the farmers and the emus had this incredible war that lasted months. This is a real thing.
Yes, and they brought in the actual Australian army. And the emus won. Spoiler alert. The emus won.
They did. So we were thinking of like an episode of revealing that Louis Loon basically defected from the Emu War to come to Featherton, USA to make cartoons. So
And it would be especially funny because an emu war in our universe would be way different.
yes, it would. Instead of going up against farmers, it'd go up against koalas, I think, you know. But I don't know. They're vicious, or Tasmanian devils, you know, we'll figure it out. But so we're going through this whole time, and Tino was instrumental in also taking our characters and doing turnarounds. Like, he helped really define the final look of the character. Like, the three of us really did. So, and through that, you know, we ended up creating new characters. Like, for example, Tino Turkey, the guard that is in the guard shack of Drivin Me Looney, was a Tino creation. Tommy Turkey ended up getting an entire family because of Tino. You know, his wife, Sylvia Silke, Tino Turkey, his son, his sister, Teresa, who then, of course, eventually became the mother of Chelsea Chicken. And from there, it just kind of, everything started to fall into place, and we're figuring, okay, where can these guys go? What can we do with it? How can we make these characters more fleshed out? And it became less and less of a, I'm just going to say, like a Looney Tunes Muppet Show ripoff. It became its own original thing. And it was very, very cool. And over the years, obviously, we continued to plus the pilot. And it was actually last year, we were pretty much like halfway done. We did all the storyboards. We had the whole thing recorded. We had picked certain shots to animate for a trailer that we put out in 2023. And, you know, we were also doing a classic cartoon matinee for the Arcada Theater. That we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
I
remember you telling me about that.
That's a whole situation.
That was the story. Now, again, this is not a slam against the good folks at the Arcada Theater. We like them. We want to come back.
It was just a frustrating situation.
It was a very frustrating situation. But anyway, in 2024, I also got heavily involved with the Chicago film scene. So I was a part of the Independent Filmmakers Alliance, the Chicago Film Club. I got invited to go to Filmscape, and I got to bring Chucky along and present him to some of Chicago's finest filmmakers, which was pretty cool, right? And along that, you know, doing these screenings, I got honest feedback. And the feedback was characters are great, you know, voices are great, story is a little wordy. I was looking for more Looney Tunes-esque jokes, you know, slapstick humor, and we weren't really getting that. And there were a couple things that we were missing on. So taking that feedback, I went to Elias and Tino first and was like, guys, I'm not feeling where this is going. And the two of them were vehemently like, we don't care. We're getting it done. We're so close to getting it finished. We don't care. We'll do it on the next one. And I was vehemently, no, we need to go back. We need to fix it. We need to do it the right way. And it was finally when we brought on Tina Nasrochi, who was an animator on Cuphead. And she also is the creator of Shiranka, the Warsaw Mermaid. Right.
Yes. I've actually interviewed her a couple of times. She's awesome.
It was because of you that we actually got her on the show. She very
awesome. I didn't know she worked on the show. That's great.
Yeah. Well, no,
she didn't work on the show. She just gave us honest feedback.
Yes, okay. Very honest. Very. She got like 5 minutes in. She's like, "Okay, I'm done." And we're just like, "Well, what'd you think?" She's like, "You want my honest opinion?" I said, "Yes, please." She says, "I didn't. You know, I think that you're." There's a lot missing. I want it to be more cartoony. I want it to be more.
It was very safe.
Very safe. It's exactly the word, right? And and that was when, of course, Elias lovingly chirps in and says, "Oh, well, we're planning to go back and fix it and add more jokes and make it more." I'm like, "Oh, are we now? Okay." That's cool. No,
Yeah.
but we had the conversation, and I finally talked to them like, guys, we need to, and they finally got on board. And as we're going back, we went and we wrote the entire thing again. We
For
rewrote
like
it.
the like 18th time.
But it was worth it because we could go
yeah.
back. We took out jokes that didn't work. We replaced it with stuff. We were able to create new characters and implement more of the lore into the story. Like we were able to bring in the Boogle Boys, which are 3 weasel characters that Freddie Fox hangs out with. We were able to implement more of the story and the lore that we had spent the past 2.5 years creating, putting it into the story. And it was wonderful, right? And I'm driving around Chicago land, and I got Tino on the phone with me, and this thing is just blowing up. Like the script, I mean, it went from 25, 30, 50, final count, I think was like 75 pages. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this thing's a monster. We're never going to get this done. Like, what are we going to do? And Tino goes, well, Mike, have you ever heard of Big Top Burgers? I'm like, no, what's that? And so Big Top Burgers is this really fun indie show, very adult, about a bunch of clowns that run a burger food truck. And they cut up their episodes and release them in like 5-minute chunks, right? Which was genius. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that's what we'll do with Chucky Chicken. We'll take our pilot, and instead of slaving away for 5-10 years, not getting paid, frustrating ourselves to death, we'll take each sequence and we'll turn it into a short. And what that allows us to do is we can make the animation on each sequence look phenomenal. We can really hammer in the jokes. We can hammer in the gags. We can make it great. If it needs to be fixed in that, from the sequential level, we can do it there. And how it started was Tino actually did this fantastic storyboard based off of an idea that we had in an original version of the script, where Chucky and Louie meet up, and Louie picks him up and takes him to the shorts department, and on the way there he just causes massive havoc. So he took that little blip and did this hysterical storyboard that had me in stitches the first time I saw it. And I was like, Tino, that's our first episode. Like, this is it. Like, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And that was in August of 24. And we worked our asses off. We made minor changes here and there to the story. But the blueprint was pretty much set from there. And what was really great about it was I pitched it to this team. I said, guys, we're going to take it. We're going to break it up. And the most important thing is stuff will be coming out more regularly. You guys are going to get your work out there. People are going to see it. They're going to love it when it gets out there. Like, it's going to grow. Like, the audience is going to grow. And when that happens, who knows what'll happen in the future, right? But it'll be a start. Your work will get out there. It'll keep us busy for a while. However, the stuff will be coming out, and everyone was on board, and it was fantastic, and it was wonderful, and we got it done. We brought on our animators, Matthew Coe and Andrew Mortimer, Jenny Butler, Elias, and I animated a couple of shots, and we had the amazing Happy Coma, Sleepy Curry, Catherine Breede, Bronte Harrison helping out with Malcolm B. Thomas helping out with the cleanup. Mm-hmm. We had new people, Corinne coming on to help with backgrounds along with Tino, and Carol Velluto, and Elias here helped, bring the world to life. Music by Mark Lavallo, who did a superb job.
I think if the music wasn't as good as it was, I don't know if the cartoon would feel as polished as it is.
Right. No, I can attest to that.
Well, you know what I was going to say. Since you have this great build-up to it, let's watch the cartoon.
We're nearly an hour, so it's about time.
Okay.
All right. Let me make this. I want to give this the screen here.
Look at that little guy.
Oh, hold on. This needs to be bigger, I think.
Ooh, there we go.
let's go.
Yes, become a member of the channel, folks.
I just don't want to. No thanks.
Gee, thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. All right, here we go, you guys. And just for those YouTube people, if you're watching, they own the copyright. They're giving me permission to view this, so don't do nothing to my.
Yeah, leave them alone.
to me.
Yeah.
Don't take this down. I will send an angry email. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Oh wait, I gotta hit play over on this side.
Thanks for the lift, Oz. See you soon. Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for the administration building. I have an appointment with the hiring folks. The name's Chucky Chicken.
Chucky Chicken, eh? Let's see now. Chucky Chicken. Yep, all good. Welcome to Tough Cluck Studios, Chucky. Admin building is on the right.
Phew, swell. Thanks, pal.
Good luck.
Louis?
I can't believe it! Chucky Chicken brings back 8! What are you doing here, you little cluckhead?
Louis Loon! Oh, it's swell to see you, pal. I'm actually on my way to an important meeting, so...
Well, say no more, mate. Let me give you a lift.
Gee, Louis, I appreciate it, but I think I'm supposed to go over here.
No worries, Jack. I'll get you there faster than 2 shakes of a duck's bill. Talk about things getting a bit all wide, eh? All right, let's take a little detour.
Louis, this is getting to be a bit much.
Know what you mean, partner. Hold on.
Louis, I've been trying to tell you. I gotta go to the administration building in the front.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so?
Wait, no.
There you are, Chuck. Anything you need, just let me know, mate. Cheers. Bye. See you later. Bon voyage. Sayonara. Bonjour. Wait, that's not goodbye, is it? Bye.
Well, Chucko pal, you've got nothing to lose. Here we go. What's going on? It's locked.
Oh, Chucky, there you are. Just got a call from the admin folks. They want you to meet them at the main building in the back.
In the back?
Don't worry, I'll have Louie take you up there. Sorry for the confusion, pal.
All right. That was awesome, guys. Let me stop that share here.
Can I say something kind of?
Yes.
Whenever I watch the older cartoons, I normally cringe. This is the only cartoon that I can actually watch with an honest to God smile on my face the entire way through. I love Drivin' Me Looney so much. This is my favorite thing that we've ever done.
Now, when you mean watch the older cartoons, you're talking older Chucky cartoon.
Chucky Chicken cartoons, yes.
Yeah, okay.
No, I don't look at Steamboat Willie and go, "Oh God, Walt, what were you thinking?" No.
What were they thinking?
I love that you put in a little nod to Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit in there.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not just Oswald. That's actually the iWorks trolley line, and the three characters on that. Because people don't know, Chucky Chicken was heavily inspired by Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Like, he was the main character that inspired the Chucky. So when we were doing this cartoon, I said we have to have a trolley and we have to have Oswald driving it. And the beautiful part about it was he had just gone into public domain. So the cartoon Trolley Troubles, the character Oswald, is public domain, available to the public. We altered him enough where he is, visually distinct, but he still looks like Oswald. Like, people recognize him. It was a nod to his first short, Trolley Trouble. And along with Oswald, we have a female mouse. That's our version of Minnie. And a frog. That's our nod to Flip the Frog, which were all created by Biworks. And Chucky's just hanging on by the coattails. So,
like, every time you call those characters Flip the Frog and Minnie Mouse, I clench my fist, because you're just saying that. That was not the intention.
Okay, they were originally adoptables, but still, we were able.
They're adoptables that people in our lovely community purchased to help us make the cartoon. So we put them in the background.
It worked out.
Yeah, well, just stop saying it, because every time you do it, it makes my face one shade redder.
Oh. I'm sorry. Okay.
You keep going, I'm gonna look like a tomato.
Yeah. Oh, a fresh tomato?
A free one, even.
Ooh, how about that? That's a little inside joke. But yeah, that was our little cartoon. So, Julia, I got a lot of Carthay Circle vibes. We got a lot of Toontown. Yeah, those were major inspirations for Featherton, 100%.
Yeah, and I would say that I'm really proud of the cartoon. I think that we really hit the feeling that we wanted to capture, the sort of Looney Tunes mixed with a bit of like
90s Disney.
A bit of 90s Disney, a bit of those old Animaniacs, Looney Tunes style stuff, but it also, I think, has a bit of that modern twinge to it, just enough so that it kind of still has that like current day appeal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Dylan asks, who is Louis Anthony? He was my grandfather. He unfortunately passed away during production of the show. He is the namesake for Louis Loon. I actually had a little tribute to him in the cartoon. Unfortunately, I had family members who were not thrilled with the way that I had done the tribute, because it looked fine, but there was a bit of audio of Grandpa doing a character that he was going to do for the show that never made it in, unfortunately. And they didn't believe that it was Grandpa, so they had me take it out. And I tried to mute it on YouTube itself, but it doesn't let you do that for some reason, which really is frustrating. So I ended up having to take out the entire thing, but I put in the description the little nod to his passing, and this is 100% dedicated to him. So I mean, he inspired Louis Loon. He drove us Louis and Looney. So I wanted to do something nice for him, and we're gonna do something really cool later on down the road for Grandpa. But yeah, thank you. That's a great question. Appreciate that.
Yeah, wow. I gotta say this, and I think I say this every time I talk to you, Mike. You make me want to go back in anime.
Well, do it.
Two things. One, I'm focusing on comics right now. Two, I don't have an animation software to work with.
We'll juice you up with that. We got the hookup.
I appreciate it, but yeah, I have like two two shorts I really would love to do. I'm turning one of them into a comic right now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can, I'll eventually turn it into an animated short. But you
Yeah.
know,
Well,
all my
hire.
stuff, I'm very for me, I'm very influenced by Hanna-Barbera. That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
my go-to company, and so it's like classic, like 50s, 60s,
Mm-hmm.
like the animal cartoon characters,
Yeah.
not like the superheroes or
Yeah, like
the
Yogi
Scooby Doo.
Bear,
Yeah, more Yogi
yeah.
Bear and Peter
Huckleberry
Pan.
Hound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All the
I love
good
all those.
guys, the classics.
Yeah.
You know.
Which, if you have Cozy, what is it? Not Cozy. Me TV Tunes.
Yes.
God, I love that channel.
Thank God for Me TV Tunes.
Oh.
Thank God for them, because they
And
really, yeah.
on
Go
Sundays
ahead.
they have like 2 hours of Hanna-Barbera cartoons. I'm like, for 2 hours I literally sit in front of that TV and just draw and watch cartoons. It's like me being a little kid again. It's
Exactly.
yeah.
It's
That's
so
the
cool.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at night now, my wife and I, like, we'll watch from 8 p.m. to like 10 p.m. and it's all like Looney Tunes.
Mhm.
It's so good. I just miss it. And sometimes what I do is I'll go sit on the floor because I have my TV's about a what is it? It's like 60 inches, so it's big when you look at it up. And I kind of try to get that theatrical vibe, like how they
Yeah.
originally released.
Yeah.
So I'll
I
sit
love that.
kind of away and look up at the screen so it looks big.
Yeah.
Yeah, House
No,
of
I-
Hanna-Barbera. That's it.
Yeah.
I think it's called.
Hanna-Barbera really, to kind of touch on them a little bit, they saved animation in the 50s and 60s. Like, if you think about it, all those studios, Disney, Warner's, MGM, Universal, they were shutting their doors. I mean, like Disney obviously stayed around the longest after, the war, but everyone else, with probably the exception of the Warner Brothers, along with Disney, they shattered very quickly in the early 50s. But then Hanna-Barbera came around and they were like, you know what, let's basically take the assembly line process and put it to animation. And it doesn't have to look pretty, but it can be funny. There's ways that you can make it funny. And with the writing and with the character designs and just the timing, and they did it. They,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and-
I mean, they had so many great designers, but I mean, you go back and you read about like Ed Benedict, who did Flintstones and Yogi Bear and all those characters, and like
Mhm.
it's almost genius looking at his work, and it's just insane at what he was able to create. But I used to teach animation for a while, and I used to do a whole lesson on Hanna-Barbera and how they kind of perfected that limited animation look that people were experimenting with. When you look at like Clutch Cargo and
Clutch Cargo.
who is it? What was the other Crusader Rabbit?
Well, he was the first. They were the first.
Early
Jay Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, I'm a huge Jay Ward fan. Love that stuff.
Jay Ward created Rocky and Bullwinkle, for those who don't know, and I've actually been on a Rocky and Bullwinkle kick lately, going back and watching the older show, and it still hits. It's still very funny.
But again, those that was just like Hanna-Barbera. It's the writing, of them that really made it, last as long as they did, and to this day, outside of like some dated references, they're still classics. You know, I mean,
it's very interesting because very rarely did studios have both good writing and good animation, right? Disney had the beautiful animation, but they were more, musical based, especially in the early days. They, the Silly Symphonies, the Mickey Mouse cartoons. It really wasn't probably until Donald Duck came around, or Goofy, that they really implemented more comedy into their cartoons. Probably the 40s and 50s. Warner Brothers came in. They were the closest. They had, especially with a lot of the Chuck Jones cartoons, like the Duck Wabbit Duck trilogy, as I call it, or Duck Amuck, which is by far still the #1 greatest cartoon of all time, in my opinion. The fact that they can take Daffy Duck and, you know, they basically break down animated cartoons as a whole in that one character and that one short. And Daffy, no matter what is happening to him, he is still Daffy Duck, and it's spectacular. And then you had Hanna-Barbera and Jay Ward, who couldn't afford the amazing animation, but they had amazing writers and they had amazing voice talent like Paul Frees and Bill Scott and June Foray and Mel Blanc and Dawes Butler, you know, all these amazing people who came in and basically created the cartoon characters of the 50s and 60s, like Hanna-Barbera. And if you look at them, all of those characters they're basically nods to classic vaudeville comedians, right?
Yeah.
Like Wally Gator is essentially Ed Wynn, you know, and Snagglepuss, he's Bert Lahr, exit stage right, you know, even Yogi Bear, you know, he's so all these.
I was going to say, hold on, no, I want to just interrupt. You do those pretty good. I don't know. Have you ever met, like, virtually, my friend Joe Bevilacqua? Goes by Joe Bev.
I have not, but I would love to.
Go look him up. No, listen. Joe Bev is, well, he does a lot of voice acting, or at least did. He was trained by Dawes Butler and Mel Blanc.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's so
oh my
cool.
God.
He gave me a couple of he actually wrote, if you read one, I don't remember the exact title, but it's like the biography of Dawes. Yeah. And he had it on audio, on CD.
An audiobook.
Audio.
Yeah.
I mean, but he had it on CD. He gave it to me one day. And I listened to it for about, I think it took me a week while I was just driving, you know, to and from work at the time, and just, you know, running errands, whatever it was. I'd put that on. It took me about a week to finish the audiobook, but it was really interesting, especially because him being trained under Dawes, when he did the audiobook, he was doing voices throughout the whole thing. Of course. So
you have to, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean, like, he could do Dawes' voice. He could. So it was just the way he was narrating. It was if you can find an audio version of that. But he does have a YouTube channel. I don't know if it's just Joe Bev, or I know he has something called the Joe Bev Show. So you should check that out on YouTube. He's been a guest on here once or twice. He's you know, I think he's down in Florida now, but he has his own recording studio. Does a lot of, like, radio show type of things.
It's not Bobo Raposo, is it?
What his
channel?
Let me look him up real quick for you.
Okay, yeah. Because I looked up the Joe Bev Show, and there's one that's under the channel Bobo Raposo. So with only 37 subscribers.
I'm going to assume this is him because it's got
okay.
Yeah, this is probably him. Yeah, I don't think he's got a big. Yeah, I went on his page. That's totally him. He does. You can see in one of the thumbnails, he's dressed like Abbott from Abbott and Costello. He does a live action. You know, he does a stage show with this guy where he's Bud Abbott.
Okay. Oh my God, we're friends on Facebook. I am kind of mad that I haven't spoken to him yet. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna reach out to him right now. So okay.
Well, maybe 100% the show or something. You know.
Yeah. You're right. Sorry, jumping a bit above the gun.
No, but he's a really cool guy. Very interesting. He actually wrote one of the cartoons that I wanted to create. And I got rid of my animation software just because I couldn't afford it anymore. So I never finished the cartoon. But I want to. That's one of the reasons I'd love to get back into it. He didn't write it. Dawes wrote it. So I was doing a Dawes script.
Let me get this straight. You have a Dawes Butler written animated cartoon that you're sitting on, and you haven't got it done, and you haven't reached out and talked to us? What are you doing? What's the matter with you?
Listen. If you'd like, after the show, we could talk, because I may not have time to do it. But I don't know if I still have them on the computer. I may have backed them up and taken them off my computer for space. But I'll show you some of the designs if I have them on here after the show.
I would adore that. That'd be great. Yeah, like Dawes Butler. For those who don't know, he was like the Hanna-Barbera Mel Blanc.
Yeah.
Like he was Yogi Bear, Snagglepuss, Huckleberry Hound, Quick Draw McGraw, Bubba Louie, Elroy Jetson. You know, he was Snoop.
wow.
You know, he was the Snoop of Snoop. You know, I hate the. You know, he was Peter Potamus. You know, another good one. And they were all based off of classic vaudevillian performers, and because they did, and that's what we wanted to do on Chucky Chicken too. Like we wanted to bring those characters back to the 21st century, especially because I've seen Jellystone, right? The new take on Hanna-Barbera.
I haven't
characters.
watched that. It just looks so. I don't.
It's
wanna
actually
use the
pretty funny.
word. That's what I hear. I don't want to say
Yeah.
it looks bad. It looks sacrilegious. That's what I'm.
That's a good word. That's a very. It's like those Paul Rudish Mickey Mouse cartoons. Very sacrilegious. People love them, but they did Goofy so dirty. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody says, you know, I mean, I actually didn't mind Goofy in those cartoons, but he wasn't
Shun the
my
traitor.
favorite. You know, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't my favorite character. I actually I'm a big Duck fan.
Yeah.
You know, Donald. Well, Scrooge's will always be my favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm a big
Pretty
Carl
good,
Barks fan and Don Rosa fan. And I grew up on the comics, and you know, I'm trying to collect as much of those comics and the Fantagraphic books when I find them for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few good ones behind me there, but
That's awesome.
yeah, I
I
got
was
some
about
of
to
the
say.
Mickey Mouse comics. And,
Yeah. I'll say this. One of my favorite comics was a sequel to an old 30s story, Mickey Mouse and Blackguard Castle. And the one that really stuck out to me as a kid, I read in Disney Adventures magazine. This is how old I am. And it was drawn by Stefan De Stefano. And it was, I love his work. That's how I discovered him, was Mickey Mouse in Return to Blackguard Castle. And it was a very short story. It was a 2-parter, 2-episode or 2-issue story. And it looked just like the older cartoon. It was very much in the style of Chucky Chicken. Like it was done in the 90s, but it had that old 30s feel to it, you know? I love Steven. I would love to sit down and chat with him. He's like one of my heroes. For those who don't know, he did all of the Popeye artwork for King Feature Syndicate that they still use today. Like he designed what we know today as sort of the modern look to Popeye and Betty Boop and all those characters, along with Frank Caruso. Like he was Frank Caruso is like the Betty Boop guy of King Features today. He's I've spoken to him a handful of times. Very sweet guy. But Steven was, I draw Popeye very much on point with his. Like that's how I learned how to draw Popeye, with using his designs. So what was I blabbing about? But yeah, so I love those old comics. I really do. And Carl Barks, I mean, geez, how many people did he inspire? George Lucas, Steven Spielberg.
Listen, I'll be honest. Without Carl Barks, we wouldn't have anime.
True.
I mean,
What?
A lot of people don't know this, but and again bad with names. But the creator of Astro Boy was a big fan of the Scrooge comics.
Yeah.
And he and when he was drawing like the big eyes, that was from what Carl did. He was kind of like paying tribute to Carl's drawings. So and that guy's like the grandfather, godfather, whatever you want to call him.
Osamu Tezuka.
Yeah, exactly. And again, terrible with names. But without him, we wouldn't, without really, I would say without Scrooge and Superman, we wouldn't have anime.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Or Disney
Or at
in
least
general,
not as we know it.
Yeah,
not as you know. It's and I've been a big fan my whole life, and I still go back and watch the older stuff. I'm a big fan of like the giant, robot, stories going back.
Oh yeah, Gundam.
Oh yeah.
Oh, not even Gundam. I'm talking about Voltus 5 and like you just go back and they're all there. Like
Voltron, yeah.
Let me tell you, I have a family event on October 19th, but October, I believe I think that's a Sunday or Saturday. So I think if it's a Saturday, the 18th, 19th, and 20th in Indianapolis is VoltCon. It is the convention devoted to Voltron. I really wanted to go to that. And I was like a weekend just dealing with giant robots at shows. And the current manga that I'm developing, that I'm working on, hopefully I'll have done before October, the first 20 pages or so, is based on those old stories. It's a very well, who created the Go Nagai? It's very like Mazinger Z esque, and what I'm doing, and
yeah.
So I've been watching a lot of like those type of stuff on YouTube and Crunchyroll lately.
That's very cool.
To just kind of be inspired when I need to draw.
Heck yeah.
100. Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, like to get the inspiration, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking at VoltCon right now, the 18th and the 19th.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, 18th, 19th. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, it's very funny to kind of get back to Chucky Chicken.
Yeah, of course.
You know, when I was at Disney, a couple things. I had with me my little Chucky Chicken doll that I got made, and which are still on sale. Apparently, they're still on the store. So if you want to get one, go grab it now. It's, you know, because who knows how long it'll be up there for. And I had a little. My mom made me this really sweet polo with a Chucky Chicken insignia on it, which glows in the dark. We found out on Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, it was very, very cool. Julia and Kimberly were with me that day, and Julia looks at me. She goes, "Michael, Chucky's glowing on your shirt." I'm like, "Oh, I'll be darned. How about that?" But what was really cool about it was people would come up to me and they'd look at Chucky on my shirt, and one person was like, "Oh, Oswald the Lucky Chicken?" It's like, "Nope, it's Chucky Chicken," but you're close. And he says, "Who's Chucky Chicken?" It's like, and I got to pull out the phone and show these Disney people what Chucky was all about, and not one of them said a bad thing about it. They were all like, "Wow, that's really cool. Congratulations." They were very, very impressed with the work, and I got to show some of the coolest people in our industry what we do. And you know, and having that doll around, I will share this story. Kimberly and Julia are here, so I don't feel bad sharing this story. When I got to the park and I met up with Kim and Julia, Kimberly is my number one fan. Like she loves Chucky Chicken. She loves me. She loves everything that I've done. So I let her hold on to the Chucky doll for the day. Right.
Okay.
And she just loved that thing. She was holding on to it. She was squeezing it. She was, you know, there is this very cute story that they told me that they went on Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, and they were in the Bay Air, like with all the stormtroopers, where the Republic were like interrogating them, right? And one of the bad guys came up to Kim and saw Chucky and asked, "Why are you holding that chicken?" And Kim, without missing a beat, goes, "He's my best friend." And the guy goes, "A chicken is your best friend," and just walks off. And I wish I were there, because I would have been like, "Yeah, he's got a name too." You know, his name's Chucky, you know. But it was a very, very sweet moment. And at the end of the day, I got to draw a picture of Chucky in Kimberly's sketchbook. And I could just see just how much Chucky meant to her. Like, she was looking at this thing, and I could tell like she didn't want to part with it, right? And as much as I wanted to have it back, I was like, I can't do this. I'm like, "Kimberly, I'm drawing in her book," and I'm like, "I want you to have Chucky." And she stops mid-sentence. She goes, "Wait, what?" Like, "You're my biggest fan. I owe you a lot. I want you to have Chucky Chicken. I'm sorry, Kim. I have to tell this part of the story. The poor girl breaks down in tears and runs over and hugs me and says, "Thank you so much. This is amazing." And that to me, Kevin, it was a highlight, man. It really, really was. Like the power of these characters, and I told Elias this last night. I've realized that we have a younger audience on our podcast now.
Yeah.
And we had one kid came on, and I apparently shouted out his YouTube channel.
I think it was just when we do like the hellos at the beginning, we shout out
Yeah.
the chat.
Yeah, we do. I think that's so important, like to let people know, like, hi, we see you, because you're the reason why we do what we do. Like,
Yeah.
like for real. Like we can make cartoons and we can put them out on the internet, but if you guys don't watch them and share them and let people know what we're doing, they're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna talk. They're not gonna talk. They're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so this kid, I shot at his channel. Probably like a half hour after the show was done, I get tagged in a video by this kid. He's in the hospital, hooked up to machines.
Wow.
And he's saying, "I just want to give a massive shout out to Chucky Chicken Cartoons." I thought he was going to like call us out or something.
Yeah, like the tone of the video at first, it was just like, is he gonna like try and chew us out for something? But no, he was just like super pumped that we shouted out his channel, and then he was just like, "Yeah, I'm in the hospital," and he like points the camera around. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool."
And I called Julia, and I'm like, "I can't do this." She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I can't do this. I got kids that are watching this show, and I don't want to do anything that would like mess them up." Because on the podcast we have fun. I mean, lately, and this is my fault. Like we've kind of been loose with the swearing, and we're gonna get back to, being more family friendly. Yeah, and. But I told her, I was like, "I can't do this." Like, and she's like, "Yes, you can. I believe in you. You got so many people who love Chucky. Don't give up." And then I called this bum yesterday, and I break down in tears again. I'm like, just seeing Kimberly, just the way that she reacted to the doll, and seeing people who watch the cartoon and have written me privately and said, I've gotten messages from people saying, I'm getting back into animation because of you. I'm getting into voice acting because of you. I'm starting my project because of you. It's a lot, it's
Listen, I get that quite a bit, actually. I mean,
yeah.
I used to do a few things because I mean, everyone who watches the show knows I have health issues. All right. I am, for those who don't, I'm a 2-time kidney transplant recipient, and my second transplant had a pretty crappy recovery. And it left me with some bad arthritis in my knees and hips, and left me as a type 2 diabetic. So I have a lot of stuff going on. But before I had my second transplant, I actually used to visit hospitals and go hang out with sick kids and just draw with them, or for them, or just, whatever. And, because of my health, I don't go back and do it now. I'd love to. But I also was known before the pandemic, which kind of destroyed the job for me, as kind of the traveling cartoon educator. So I would go and teach kids about like comics, animation, mostly comics. I like how words and pictures go together and whatnot. And I would hear the same kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. The thing, and it's one of the reasons I try not to curse when I'm on camera anywhere. But in the beginning, when I started this, a lot of my students were my audience, and I had to be careful. Mm-hmm. And I would tell people, if you curse, I gotta just change it on the YouTube, that it's not for kids. Yeah, that's just what I would do. So I have some videos here that are set up not for kids because my audience, or not my audience, but the thing. But yeah, I get that. I've been in the similar situation, and it makes you feel good, but at the same time, it
It
makes you
scares the
think about
yeah.
what you're
It scares
doing.
the shit out of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Pardon my language, but
Yeah,
and
'cause we're not
it was
for kids this show. Thank you very much, but
yeah. Sorry.
no, it's okay.
But no, it does, and
Yeah,
like and the anniversary at Disneyland was amazing because the girls and I are walking down Main Street, and I never expected this to happen, but I had a guy like recognize me, and he goes, "I know you. You're Mike Cook," and I'm like, "How the heck do you know me at Disneyland? What is it?" He comes up and he like shakes my hand, and I recognized him too, Brandon Treacle. And I was like, "Oh, hey, so good to see you." Like, he cool, it was really great. But and for me, it's like, Red Skelton had this really powerful story when he was being interviewed, and it was he started off by saying, "I never charge admission to any of my shows for anything that people can get for free on a bathroom stall." And the reason why he did that was because in the 80s, they brought back his character, Freddy the Freeloader. And they were doing a Christmas special, Freddy the Freeloader Saves Christmas. And it was through HBO. And in the contract, it very specifically said that the show before and the show after could not have explicit language, because there have been studies done that you can watch 3 shows in a row, and unfortunately things get intermixed and things get melded together, and you don't know who said what. And sure enough, the day that it went on the air, all was fine. And then the next day, Red goes out and somebody stopped him and said, "Hey, I didn't think you did dirty language." And he says, "Well, a couple of things slip out, but nothing too risque." And they go, "Yeah, well, how'd you get away with this?" And he said, "I didn't say that." And he says, "No. Oh, no, it wasn't you. Eddie Murphy was on right after you."
Oh, wow.
And HBO came back and said, "When are we going to do the next one?" And Red just said, "You ain't got enough money in the world to do another one with me." And he never did. And it's so true. Like, there are plenty of shows out there that do adult content and adult themes and explicitives very well. I don't need to do that, right? I want to do something that if you are 6, 16, 26, 66, 106, you can go back, you can watch your cartoons, and you can get a lot out of it, and you can feel safe knowing that you are going to watch it and have a good time. Your kids are going to have a good time watching it. Your parents and your grandparents are also going to enjoy it and have a good time. That is my goal with everything that we put out. And, sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. With Driving Me Looney, I think we really hit that chord, and it's been a real blessing so far. So I just want to say thank you to all of the people who have, all 13,000 of you who have watched it in the less than a month, almost a month that it's been on YouTube so far. So
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where to go from there. I mean, it's
to the top.
No. But what I'm saying is that was a nice way just to kind of, I think, end it tonight. Like, that was a nice. I mean, you and I could talk for hours.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, no. I mean,
it's hard.
It is. It's also an accomplishment. Yeah. But I gotta say, I like how you're thinking of. You want it to be for all ages. You want it to try to have that timeless piece. And that, that's how I attack my work too. I mean, I'm not going to say I do G-rated stuff all the time.
Nor do we. Like, we're PG. We tiptoe the line. But that's the beauty of it. Like, we put the jokes in for the adults who are watching it, but then when the kids who watched it grow up and they go back, they go, "Oh my God, this is hysterical. Why didn't I get it as a kid?" "Oh, well, because I was a kid. It went right over my head." Like, I really love those kind of shows. So that's what we do. You know, we don't.
Yeah.
I don't do stuff for kids, and I don't do stuff for adults. I do it for, and this is a straight up Walt Disney quote. I don't care. I do it for that little child that is that untouched bit of childhood that is inside every single one of us, because we all have an unspoiled spot, and that is what I aim for. Everyone's got it, and you know, if you can watch our cartoons and you can have a giant smile on your face and it can remind you of the good old days, and it's something brand new and you can have a new character, a new favorite character by the time you're done. And it doesn't even need to be Chucky. It could be Louie, it could be Dino, it could be Abe, it could be Margarita the fox. I don't care. You know, Margarita, comma, the fox. I don't care. Margarita the fox. I can just see the fan art now. But like that's what's important. So, and please give this guy Michael all your love. Like what he's doing is a wonderful thing.
Make sure to smash that like button and hit the subscribe bell.
And leave a comment down below. What's your favorite old-timey cartoon? What's your favorite current cartoon?
What's your favorite Hanna-Barbera?
Yeah, favorite
you guys are
Hanna-Barbera.
so much better than this than I am. I always forget to promote myself and tell people to hit the like button and subscribe and comment and stuff. And it's just because I enjoy doing this so much, you know.
Yeah,
of course. And you're good at it. You have some of the coolest people on your show, man. Like I go watch his old stuff. Like it is, like all the old interviews that like the people that you've spoken to in your career. Not just because I've been on here 3 times previous, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm in good company, and I really appreciate you taking the time to promote us. And you know, we will definitely have you back on our show probably within the next couple weeks. So
listen, I'm happy to. You just as long as I can work out my schedule for it, so I'm not missing my day gig.
Yeah.
I am 100% happy to be on.
Dolly Baez says her favorite was Pixie and Dixie.
Yeah, I love them.
Oh, nice.
You know what? I'm going to tell you a little short story. When I was a kid, I mostly drew animal cartoons because I was so influenced by Hanna-Barbera and Looney Tunes and Disney. But again, mostly Hanna-Barbera. And I loved Pixie and Dixie so much that I created my own mouse duo. And I just, in the last, I want to say 3 or 4 months, cleaning up some old artwork, found my drawings from childhood.
Nice.
They were named Chester and Horace. That was their name. And
I love that.
I think they might be going to make an appearance at some point in my comic career. I'm going back, and I want to. You know what I really want to do? I don't know. For those who never like really looked at old comics, if you don't know the comic, biz, but Dell Comics was a big one that did this, and they had the rights to Hanna-Barbera for a while. And then there were a couple of other companies, even I think Harvey Comics and Archie had them for a bit. Eventually DC got them. But they used to do a lot of like animal books, like the theatrical cartoon characters too, Bugs Bunny, all that stuff. And that's what I used to collect when I got into like really collecting. I mean, I always read superhero stuff, but like when I, the Uncle Scrooge books, the Hanna-Barbera. I remember there was one, I think it was by Harvey Comics. It was called Cartoon Parade or something.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And it was just Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Yeah.
Shorts of them. I just love that so much. So I want to do like an all animal cartoon book.
I would love to see that. And
yeah,
those animal comics, they just hit different.
They do.
They really do. And I don't know what it is about them. They just are, because it's one thing to look at a comic and see like a person, but it's the other thing to, I don't know. It's another thing to just see an animal. And I tell people this all the time. We as a species have learned best from animal stories. Like think of like the Aesop's fables and the tortoise, the tortoise and the hare and the frog and the scorpion and all of these different tales from animals, and going back and through our childhood, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Rocky and Bullwinkle and Bugs Bunny, like we personify I'm going to say something a little risque here. We personify animals to help us, better relate to them. So, and they teach us so many really wonderful things. So,
yeah. And I don't remember 100%. I think it was Chuck Jones who said that, we could, relate more to an animal in a situation than we can relate, and I'm getting the quote wrong, obviously, but then we can relate to a human doing it on screen. You see a human get hit by a hammer, we're going to get hurt, possibly even die. But it happens to, whoever, Daffy Duck, just a little bump's going to appear, and it'll be able to be disappeared. So we can accept animals in those situations, and I think that's why we love them so much. But like you said, Aesop's fable, we can go back in history and we've learned from animals. There was an old story, there was a book called the Panchatantra. It was Middle Eastern, I believe. It was written in Sanskrit. And actually that's where like the first like Arabian Night stories, I believe, come from. And
oh wow!
I believe it goes back that far, but I could be wrong on that. But I believe it goes back to a book around that era. And there was a story I was told by an instructor of mine, my animation teacher in college, actually. And there was I don't remember the title of it, but the moral of the story was death pursues the meddling flunky, take note the wedge extracting monkey. And it was a story about it, and I tried to animate a couple of scenes from this. Basically, what happens in this story is there's a wood chopping area, and the way they chopped wood was they would put a wedge in between a log and hit it, and it splits, right? So one night, this group of monkeys come in to this empty wood chopping area, and they're investigating, and one monkey is really curious, and he pulls out the wedge, and the log snaps onto, let's just say, his monkey hood, and
oh no,
it basically falls off, and the monkey dies. So death pursues the meddling flunky, take note the wedge extracting monkey. So if you can find an English translation, I don't know if they exist or not. But yeah, that was one of the first non-ideas of my own ideas that I animated back in college. So
I never even heard of that story. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's basically curiosity killed the cat.
Or in this case, castrated the monkey.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Anyway, let's end it here. I'm going.
Okay.
You guys on
we're just getting a little carried away.
We're just gonna go on tangents.
We're gonna let it.
Inside.
Oh, you should see us on our show.
I know. But yeah, so anyway, you guys just hang out for a few. I just want to give a little chat after the end. But I want to thank you both for coming on, sharing the stuff, and saying congratulations on your pilot, man. It was really good. The audience loved it. I'm hoping for a lot more great stuff from you.
Oh, thank you.
And for those who aren't regular viewers of Mike, of Chucky Chicken or whatever, just go to Chucky Chicken Cartoons on YouTube, and you could follow them there on Instagram. And is there any other place they can find you?
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky Facebook. I do want to say one thing. Very, very quickly. It is not just me.
I know.
Like I know that I'm the guy who created Chucky. I know I'm his voice. It's not just me. It's Elias. It's Tino. It's Matthew. It's Happy. It's all of the people It's all the folks, Alex and Ted and Johnny and, Brianna and Alex and all the guys who come in, all the guys, gals, and non-binary pals who come in and help us make this show a reality. I did it for 10 years by myself. It sucked. I can't do it by myself. These guys came in and all of a sudden magic is being made. So I appreciate you, giving me top billing, but I honestly, at this point, I'd rather Chucky have the top billing because he's the real star of the show.
And I appreciate that. The one thing I am going to say though is all these people that are working with you is because they believe in you and your ideas and your project, your concepts. I have told you this a couple of times. You are kind of the modern day Walt Disney.
Don't say that.
No.
Don't feed his ego like that. I don't need hearing about it.
No. Yeah. Let's just say Walt, at some point he's kind of stopped doing the work, but the people that he surrounded himself, believed in him and what he was doing. You're doing the same thing.
I was in the. I don't know what you're talking about. I was drawn with these guys.
I mean, listen. Is there going to be, a Chucky Land?
I'd like to, maybe one day. That'd be kind of fun.
Or Cookland, we should say.
No, there will never be a Cookland. There will never be.
People will go to Cookland and be like, "Where's all the kitchen supplies?"
Yeah.
That's what I want. I love to cook, man. I would want to go to a Cookland.
Maybe a Valley Land, or like maybe a Featherton Valley or something like that. Where
that'd be really cool. That'd be really.
But no, I would never put my name on. It was the same thing where it's like, why? People ask me all the time, well, what's the name of your studio? Mike Cook Animation? Like, no, it's Valley Studios Media. Well, why? My grandpa had Valley Construction and Valley Security. My dad, when he reopened his business, had Valley Electric. I'm just kicking out the middleman and just going Valley Studios right off the bat. It's a generic name, but, I mean, maybe we'll change it to Tough Cluck Studios, eventually. I don't know. But
yeah, we were kind of thinking about it.
Yeah.
Regardless.
It's not just me. And I appreciate that, but I do want to make it abundantly clear. I'm not the main guy responsible for the show happening all by myself. Like I never, and I tell Elias all the time. I appreciate the hell out of these guys. They are the reason why Chucky looks, sounds, feels so good. So give Chucky the credit, not me.
I will give Chucky all the credit. And with that said, I am Michael Gracia Studios. I do it all myself. Which actually isn't a lie. I am Michael Gracia Studios. I occasionally have people write for me, but the artwork is all me.
And it's wonderful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do.
Well, we appreciate you, man.
But let's definitely end it now. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was great coming on and talking with you.
Yeah. And thank you for all you lovely Chucketeers who came over here. Make sure that you show Michael some love.
Make sure to subscribe to Mike's channel, and then we'll see y'all next time.
Yep. So long, everybody.
All right. Goodbye, guys. Thank you. I'll have a new guest next week. And I might be doing a live stream this weekend. I'm focusing on trying to get a book done. So if I get it done, I'll be live streaming and doing some artwork live.
Heck yeah.
All right, guys.
Nice.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it.